Hi everybody, John Cottrell here of MBODY Yoga, and this is Soft Flow Yoga. Thanks for joining me. For our practice today, you can see I'm near a wall because we could be using the wall as a prop, just as we use other props. You'll also need a couple of yoga blocks or just some things you can stack. It can even be a stack of books or even a chair or a table, but if you can have a blank wall nearby, it will help. Today we'll be doing half moon pose, which is a balancing posture, standing on one foot, but you're opening up. So it's also a hip opener, nice leg stretch. So we'll warm up a little bit and then we'll get into the featured pose. Let's begin our practice in seated. Find a comfortable seat. I'm sitting on a blanket here. You can also sit on a pillow. I've got my cushion. You can even double up on your yoga mats if you'd like. Go ahead and sit up nice and tall. Feel the lengthening of your spine. Take some deep breaths. Nice full breath in. Fill yourself up. And exhale, release. Again, inhale. Feel the breath rising upward, filling up your lungs. Exhale to completion. One more time. Breathe in. Release. Feel the body soften, start to relax. Begin to settle into your practice. First, our pranayama, which is just our breathing practice, just a form of meditation to bring you to this moment. We'll start to add a very simple movement as a moving meditation. So we'll take 2 more breaths here in stillness. When you're ready, inhale, extend both arms out, then up, big stretch, reach high. And exhale, reaching out across the room. Slowly bring your arms back down as you complete that breath. And just continue. This is our moving meditation. Inhale, reaching out and up. Good effort as if you'll touch the ceiling. Exhale, reaching out, back down. Feel as if you'll touch the walls on either side of you. And just do this a few more times. You can certainly do this with eyes opened. Maybe you're just gazing forward or softening your eyelids and looking down at the ground. You can even do this with eyes closed. Really just focus on the flow of breath and the gentle movement of your own body. Go ahead and finish the breath that you're on. We'll take 2 more. Go at your own pace. And when you're complete, just come back to stillness. Holding here for a moment. Let's do a couple more things while we're still seated. Let's do a gentle back bend. I'm just turning sideways so you can see this. Just going to bring your hands behind you. You can just prop up onto your fingertips or down on your palms, whatever feels most comfortable. And when you bring your arms back, it also draws the shoulders back, which is a nice opening across the chest. This is our back bend. So shoulders back, tip chin up just a little bit, just to help open up through the heart space. Remember, in yoga, back bends are heart openers. Now, as you inhale, you're going to again feel the breath rising, filling up the lungs. You might even feel this expansion or a stretch sensation across the chest. And with the exhale, as you're able, draw your belly button in towards your spine. A few more sensations. As you inhale, just press your fingertips or palms into the floor. Feel the energy in your arms. Breath is rising, fill up your lungs. The exhale, drawing belly button in, and as you're able, squeezing your shoulder blades together behind you. So we've added some more sensation in the body, activating the body. And this is a nice kind of set up for our half moon pose, which of course is a standing balancing posture, but there is some engagement involved in order for you to help hold the posture. 2 more breaths here in our mild back bend. And when you're complete, you can just lower your chin to relax the neck. Walk your hands towards yourself, sit up tall. You can bring your arms back around to the front and just hold here for a moment. As I mentioned, half moon is also a hip opener. So let's just do a gentle hip opener here and a forward fold, which is a nice counter pose just to the back bend we just did. So if your legs are crossed here on the floor, let's uncross them and reposition the feet so they're together here, knees are bent and open. Nice hip opener, cobbler's pose or bound angle pose. Feel free to use those blocks or books if you happen to have them nearby, and just let them rest underneath the knees, so your knees or legs can actually rest open here if you'd like. You can hold on to your shins or ankles initially. We'll inhale, feel the lengthening of spine. As we exhale, we'll hinge forward. I like to imagine like there was a wall right here at the chin. I'm trying to look up and over the wall. That way my spine stays straight as I hinge forward just a little bit. Do that again. Inhale, lifting up, lengthening through the spine, looking over the wall. Exhale, gently hinging forward. Really don't have to go too far. Now I'm getting closer to being able to hold on to the toes. I'm just going to scoop up the toes with my hands. Inhale here. Now on this exhale, I'm just going to soften just a little by lowering the chin, letting the back round, which creates a little bit more space so I can fold a little bit deeper, which creates a lovely stretch through the back body. But as I'm folding forward a little deeper, certainly getting a stretch in the inner legs. We'll just hold this for a few more breaths. This is our floor work. We'll also do a few standing postures and then work our way into half moon pose. Some deep breaths here. When we were sitting upward and opening the chest, breathing into the lungs, feel that chest expansion. Here, if you're able, breathe into your back body and feel the expansion in the upper back if you're able. And take 3 more breaths. When you're complete, just notice how you are and where you are, the curve of the spine, lowered chin. But to come out of the pose, just simply lift the head. Maybe look out past the front edge of your mat. That will start the re-extension of your spine. Then just hinge your way up. You can guide yourself or assist yourself by placing hands on the floor in front. And just rise up all the way here, holding for a moment. All right, I'm going to move my blocks. I'm going to move them near the top of the mat because I'll need them there. We're going to come to hands and knees for a moment, warm up the spine, and get into our downward facing dog. So I'm just using the blanket for some padding. We'll inhale, tip chin up, arching the back. Pelvis tips back. There's our back bend for cow pose. Exhale, tuck pelvis under. Feel the back round. Belly button draws up towards spine, chin to chest. There's cat. We'll do this a few more times. Good undulation of the spine, awakening the back body, rocking of the pelvis, also to open up the hips a little bit. Good breathing here. Finish the breath that you're on. We'll take 2 more. When you're complete, just pause here in a neutral tabletop posture for a moment. If you are using some padding, we'll set that to the side. Come back to hands and knees and get ready for down dog. To set ourselves up, we'll step the hands forward just a little bit, so getting the wrists and hands out from underneath the shoulders. Spread out your fingers so you get a good stretch between each finger. Lean into your palms. Press your hands flat into the mat. And as you press, you get a stretch for your hands, but also keeps the arms straight and strong. So another nice activation. Tuck your toes. Then inhale into cow pose. That's our back bend.
Exhale into cat pose, rounding spine. Hold here. Then lift your knees off your mat. Keep the knees very bent as you send your hips up and towards the wall behind you. Feel the head and chest dip between the arms. Your ears may run alongside the arms. Holding for a moment, still pressing firmly into the mat with the hands, keeping the arms very strong. Let's go right into a lunge series. Let's pick up the right foot with an inhale, extend the right leg back and up slightly. Exhale, let's step right foot to the top of the mat or just simply behind the right hand right here. That should be good. Turn that back leg so your heel can easily touch the ground. Shift your weight back into that foot so it feels like you're standing evenly on both feet. Rise to fingertips here. Feeling strong in the legs. I like to climb up the body. Bring the hands up to thigh to help extend spine a little bit more. Free the arms. We'll reach forward and up as you hinge up with an inhale. In the exhale, just settle into the pose. I'm going to hold here for a moment. Actually, let's relax the arms. Since we're in a lunge, we're not only strengthening the legs, but starting to get more of a hip opening. Because that back leg, the left leg in this case, is stepped back and slightly turned out, we can get a bit of a stretch in the hip flexor. And that's going to be part of the hip opening, especially as we get into our half moon. Let's go ahead and sweep the arms back up with an inhale. Exhale, turn your body to the left as you bring your arms down to parallel. You'll be in Warrior Two. Continuing this nice hip opening. Now what I need to do just for an adjustment, I need to turn this whole leg and foot out. That way I feel a lot more space and release in the hips. Check in with front foot and knee and leg, knee and toes pointing forward. So we're getting a nice opening here, almost like that seated posture, our bound angle pose. Let's take a side angle pose. Reach forward just a little bit, rotate here. You can even bring your hand to your thigh. Nice reaching up sensation, might even look up past left hand. Now, interestingly enough, we're getting very close to already being in our half moon pose. So it's going to simulate something like this. Actually, let's do one more thing while we're here. This right leg is bent. We're going to straighten this leg so we're more in a triangle pose. So you feel a stretch in the hamstrings here. I'm just going to keep my right hand on hip, helping to brace and support myself in the posture, holding here. Now, we are really close to being in the half moon. If we tip this forward and I'm balancing completely on a straight right leg with the left leg in the air, it would be a half moon pose. Here's just our warm up. Okay, coming out of the posture, let's bend the right knee. Come up, pass through a Warrior Two. Let's reverse the warrior just to get this right arm in the air just for a moment and a nice lengthening and opening through the right side. All right. Then a big cartwheel or windmill effect out of the pose, around and down to the floor with both hands. Rise up onto tiptoes behind you. Let's just add one more little stretch here. I'm going to bring my left knee to the floor, flatten the foot. Feel like I'm going forward and just kind of let this hip kind of sink just a little bit, just to assist a little bit more length in this left hip flexor and even just above the belt line in the psoas low ab section. All right, tuck toes again. We're going to come back out of that deep lunge. Tuck toes so you can lift the knee. Push palms flat on the floor so you can slide right foot back, plank pose. Soften the knees here, send hips to sky, downward facing dog. We'll hold here for a moment. Let's get ready for the other side. So an inhale to extend left leg into the air. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. Landing behind the left hand is good. Turn right foot to the earth. Shift weight back into that foot, feeling solid. Rise to fingertips, extend spine, climb up the body. Hands to thigh here, just help extend spine. For your arms, reach forward and up. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lunge. We'll hold for a moment in the full posture. Then you can relax the arms here for a moment, just allowing the legs to do their thing. Now we've got that right hip flexor doing some nice stretching here. Breathing. You can check in with alignment. Knee, toes pointing forward, knee pretty much stacked over ankle or heel. All right, getting ready for Warrior 2. Let's inhale, reach up back to Warrior 1. Exhale, turn to your right. Here's Warrior 2. Make any adjustments. I'm going to turn my back leg, more opening in the hips. Again, checking in with alignment, being sure your left knee hasn't dipped to the inside of the foot, but stays stacked nicely over the heel or ankle. Let's take our side angle pose. You don't have to go too deeply here. I'm going to keep my hand on thigh, reaching up, opening up. I like to call these poses sideways poses because you really kind of open up sideways, and half moon is very much a sideways pose. Nice opening here. Let's get into our triangle by straightening this left leg, supporting the hip by placing hand here. This also emphasizes that nice hamstring stretch. Now my gaze is upward past the right hand. You don't have to keep that gaze. You can relax the head by looking forward here with a neutral neck, or even slightly down at the floor. A few more breaths as you continue to allow the hamstrings to stretch. Coming out of the pose, we'll bend the left knee just for leverage and support as we come up, pass through Warrior 2. Reverse your warrior, left hand reaching up, getting a little left side body stretch, not holding here too long. Cartwheel out of the pose. Around and down to the floor. Plant the hands, rise up onto tiptoes behind you. One more stretch for the hip, setting the knee down, flatten the foot. Let the hips kind of sink towards the floor. Nice stretch. A couple breaths should do it. We don't have to hold here too long. Shifting back to get out of that hip stretch. Tuck toes, lifting the knee. Hands press firmly into the floor so you can slide left foot back. Plank pose. Back to down dog. Bend the knees. Hips to sky. Take several steps forward, maybe just to the center of your mat until your feet are flat on the mat. Slide fingertips towards toes. Here's a forward fold. Hold here for a moment, really getting a nice hamstring stretch here. Shifting the weight into the heels, we're getting ready to stand. So your toes feel light, you can easily tap them. Bend your knees to lower your hips. Start lifting upper body, bring hands to thighs, pushing into thighs here to extend spine. So you're in a chair-like pose. You can take the arms out to the side, rising up, reach up, big stretch, and exhale, arms down to your side. Very nice. All right, let's get right into our half moon pose. You're going to be doing this right up against a wall. So I'm going to carefully kind of come down, come get my blocks, and bring them over. I want to stack my blocks pretty high. I call this a level 3 position with the blocks. Just be careful because they get a little wobbly here, but that's going to be some support. So your hand doesn't have to reach the floor. You can just use the blocks. Now, we're going to start by standing sideways with the right shoulder near the wall. So we're not touching the wall just yet. So what you could do is touch the wall and just take a simple half step to the left, right there. Basically, we're going to take a forward fold and then open up towards the walls. Inhale, reach up with both arms. Exhale, you can sit back into a chair pose, right there. Inhale, reach. Exhale, continue the fold and place hands on blocks. Now, I'm actually too far away from my blocks. I'm just going to step forward so I can easily reach my blocks. I'm actually going to turn my blocks this way, just like this. So I'm relying on the blocks for a little support and balance. Now with my feet and toes are pointing directly forward at the moment, I'm going to turn them slightly to the left here. That's actually going to help you really open up the hips as you fall against the wall. I'm going to get a little closer to the wall here. So using the blocks, hand on blocks, more pressure and weight in my right foot, leaning forward so I can actually sweep this left leg back. Once it's off the floor, activate. I'm going to flex the foot. Actually, I'm going to point the toes. I really activate the leg. I talked about activation of the body earlier. And start lifting. As I continue lifting this leg, let the body open and then just fall. I'm already touching the wall. Just fall against the wall. That's going to help you with your balance. And then just keep reaching up into your arm and hand is on the wall. See, we're in the posture using the wall for good support. My hand is on the block so I don't just go toppling forward. And maybe just placing head on the wall here too. So here's our balance with support, hip opening because of the leg extension, leg opening here. So hip flexors, inner legs in the hamstring stretch, opening here. Couple more breaths, very activated leg. You can keep the toes pointed, you can even flex that foot there just so you can feel the outer leg here engage. And start to peel away from the floor, from the wall, turning so I can bring this foot back down to the ground, turning my feet so they're pointing forward, shifting away from the block. Just free the hands back up into chair, but just continue standing into extended mountain pose. Exhale, arms to the side. And that's half moon. That's how you can do that using the wall for support. So let's do the other side. I'm just going to carefully turn and just bring my blocks to the other side here. So same thing. Standing close to the wall, but not quite touching it just yet. We'll inhale, both arms up. Exhale, take chair pose. Fold, bring hands to the stacked blocks or books, whatever you're using. This could also be the seat of a chair. I'm going to turn my toes slightly to the right at an angle. My hip is already pretty close to the wall, which is perfect actually. Leaning into the blocks, pressure into the left foot so I can sweep the right foot off the floor. Once it's lifted off the floor, point toes or just some engagement of the leg and just continue lifting. I'm already touching the wall, which is perfect. And then just folding open or really opening the body. That leg is low, that's okay, but if you can lift a little higher, pointed toes or a flexed foot, let's see if you can get the arm on the wall, the back of your head on the wall, maybe looking up. You can see how this resembles that triangle pose with both feet on the ground, both legs were straight, and we're looking up at that top hand. That was triangle with both feet on the ground. Now we've got only one foot on the ground. All right, let's go ahead and carefully peel away. Come back down, turning toes forward, leaning back into the heels, lifting up, passing through chair so I can stand up nice and tall, and exhale, arms return to the side. Very good. I'm just going to come back to my mat, a few circles with the shoulders. Let's make our way back down to the ground. Inhale, reaching all the way up. Exhale, slowly, swan dive. Spread your wings, bend your knees, come down. Maybe reaching your toes or ankles or shins. Inhale, rise up halfway, sliding the hands up the legs. Exhale, fold all the way down. Bend your knees so you can reach the floor. Fingers, hands up near the top edge of your mat. Walk or step, feet back, plank pose. Pause here for a little extra strength work. Bring knees to the floor here. And we'll sit back into hero. Bring in my blanket to sit on. Sitting up nice and tall. Take a breath. Finishing our practice with one last movement. Inhale, extend both arms out and up. You can even look up if you'd like. Exhale, bring hands down to heart center. Take a deep breath here on your own, in and out. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow, saying, Namaste.
Thank you so much for watching and participating in this yoga lesson. To help us with the channel so we can continue to bring you more content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's really appreciated. Namaste.